What's going on, guys? Sertavinci here, back with another video, and today I am bringing you one from a game called Outward. It is a brand new survival RPG game made by a small development company. It probably flew under the radar for most of you, as it did me, and I ended up finding out about the game on a Facebook ad, actually. And I looked into it on YouTube, and it actually looks pretty neat. It has some pretty cool mechanics that set itself apart from other RPGs nowadays, and I thought it looked pretty neat. Obviously, as you can tell, it's not the best game visually, but where it lacks in visuals, it makes up for in mechanics, if you ask me. So in this video today, I'm going to be bringing you a few tips or hints about things that happen on early in the game. Obviously, there are a lot of videos out there right now with people showing quick tips and stuff like that of how to survive early on in the game, like how to get your first pieces of gear, equipment, and stuff like that. But for me, there were a few things that I feel like people missed out on that would have been really nice to point out, because for me personally, going into this, I ended up finding out about certain things on my own, and I feel like I got really lucky figuring it out. I did watch other gameplay beforehand, so there were some things that did help me out, don't get me wrong, but there's, as I said, a few things that I would like to point out in this video that will probably help you guys out that I feel like some people missed out on. So in an attempt to avoid making any spoilers, right off the bat of the game, you are put on a goal to get yourself, you need to pay off what is called a blood price. I'm not going to go too far into detail. You will learn about it right off the beginning of the game. You'll know what I'm talking about. But the blood price is 150 silver. What you decide to call the currency in the game is completely up to you, but for me, it's represented by a silver coin, so that's why I'm going to call it silver. Actually, it is called silver. Wow. Just realized that. Anyway, back to the point. There are two ways that you can pay it off. Either you can earn yourself 150 silver by going out farming certain creatures for their materials and selling them to vendors in town, or you can acquire a Writ of Favor. If you can earn yourself a Writ of Favor, you do not have to worry about paying the 150 silver to pay off your blood price. It gets rid of it entirely, and you can move on in the story after that. There is a bad... you end up getting 5 days from when you get into town to pay it off. And if you don't pay it off in those 5 days, then you lose your home, which is the lighthouse there. The home is very beneficial, as obviously it gives you a nice place to rest. There's a cooking station, there's a stash there. I personally haven't been to any other cities or towns except for this one. I haven't gotten too far in the game. But it is very beneficial, so you do not want to lose your house. From what I know, though, I did hear about the fact that you can probably, I believe you can get it back if you don't pay off the blood price, but it comes at way more of a price, something around 500 silver, which is not worth worrying about or having to worry about when I'm going to show you a way to not have to worry about paying at all. So, to my knowledge, as of this point, there is only one way of getting a Writ of Favor to not have to worry about paying that 150 silver, and you can do it right off the beginning of the game. I do want to give a couple warnings off the bat that the area you need to go into does have some tough enemies. They are avoidable, and they are also definitely capable of being killed, with basic equipment. It's just the matter of learning a few attacks that they use and making sure that you do not get hit. They can be extremely lethal. As a matter of fact, the one time I died in this game was to one of them the first time I encountered one. So I'm going to hopefully show you an easy way to take them out. I've got my map up now, and we are in the town of Cierzo. You will always start here, to my knowledge. And the first things you want to do is get yourself equipped. I wouldn't necessarily run straight to this place. Like I said, it is possible to do with basic equipment to take out the enemies around the area, and you could also avoid them entirely, but there's always a chance of you ended up getting into combat, which I suppose you could just run away, but these guys also have a ranged attack. So the first thing I would do is go to talk to this guy who will be standing in front of this gate, which leads out of town, and he will not let you pass without at least a backpack, a weapon, and a water skin. There are other videos out there showing you where to get these things in the starting town. So if you need to know where those are, I'm trying to keep this video somewhat shorter if I can. So I'm going to let those other videos guide you into that. But once you get geared up, there is a quest actually that you can pick up that is unmarked. I haven't found any other side quests other than this one so far, so I do not know if they are marked on the map or not. But this is the front gate. If you come over this way and up these stairs straight in front of us, the girl up there on the platform. I already did this quest, so she's not going to have it from me, but Helen Turnbull.
Greetings,
you will
friend.
talk to her, and you will say there will be an option to ask for work. And she should give you a quest to go get a mushroom shield, which is in a dungeon outside of town. Whether or not I can zoom out, let's see if I can. No, I'd have to go out there. Alright, well, I'll show you on the map in just a second. Alright, so we're now just right outside the main gate to Caesaro, or Cierzo. I always forget the name of the place. But as I said, once you exit out here, the place you want to go, right on the D-pad on Xbox, is bring up the map, this is where we are right now. We want to follow this road up here, and then head off this little side road, and there is a cave or dungeon here. Inside the dungeon, you will find the quest item, and there is also another item in there, and I will show you the locations of both in just a second. This road, try not to follow it. There isn't much in terms of danger along this part, but it just leads to a bandit camp that you do not want to mess with early on in the game yet. But the path to the cave itself should not be very dangerous. There might be a couple of hyenas or bandits or whatever, but as long as you take the right route and don't get lost, because you do not have a marker on the map for yourself. There is no character marker on the map, so you kind of just got to remember where you are. Look for some landmarks or whatever you can. There are also signs along the roads that will sometimes point you in the right direction too. Alright, so we are coming up on the dungeon right now. You'll know you're near it when you start seeing these weird looking statues and wooden arches over the road. And this is the dungeon straight ahead of us. And all you gotta do is go up to the store right here and enter. Alright, so we are now in the dungeon itself. I'm gonna grab some mushrooms really quick. And in this dungeon, you're gonna come across one of the first enemies in the game. This is one of them dead on the ground right here. Whether or not they're going to be back, it doesn't look like they're respawned yet. But there will be multiple of these guys with these tridents. They're pretty straightforward, easy. My suggestion is just kind of block their attacks until you kind of learn their move swings or their move sets. But anyway, you don't necessarily need to follow this exact path. I think there's a couple routes to get to the place. But if you would like to follow the path, just know that these green mushrooms on the wall are only found near the exit. And that is the exit right there. So if you ever get lost in here, just look for the green mushrooms and know that you're close to the exit. I also personally don't remember the exact route down, but it is a pretty small dungeon, so it shouldn't be too hard to find our way down. But the reason why I'm suggesting to do this quest first, I mean, in general, it's just nice to do because of the rewards you get from it, and also it's nice to learn the combat mechanics from these easy enemies in here. So that way you're not running into those hard enemies I talked about earlier on the beach without any prior combat knowledge. So we're heading down. We should be coming up to it. Alright, this is the room we want. Oh, look, one of them's back. Alright, so I can show you how easy these guys are. Well, he's already running away. We'll chase him down, finish him off. Oh, stop it, you coward. Alright, he's dead. Know that my weapon is actually, it's not a very good weapon necessarily, but it is stronger than the weapons you're probably going to start with, so do keep that in mind. It's not necessarily going to be as easy. But once you get into this big chamber room, the quest item you're looking for will be right here. It is a red round shield. It's called a mushroom shield, I believe. And you just want to grab that. And there is another item that I want to recommend you guys look for. I don't remember exactly where the room is, but once again, just kind of follow where I'm going. And I won't cut out these parts, that way you can actually see where I'm going. And you hopefully won't get lost. Here's the room right here. So, let's see what's up here. This ramp leads to... Okay. So, we actually came from there. So, there's the main room. Oh, I've never seen one of those before. Like a magical dude. Let's beat him up real quick. Oh, shit. Bad timing. Oh, well. I'll just keep smacking him. We drained his stamina. But anyway, we came from there. That was up top. This is the main room where we found the mushroom shield. And then if you come back up this ramp and take a left here, the room that we want is right here. So once you see this room, you'll see this like big rock with a giant ugly motherfucker on top of it. On the ground, at least for me, it was right about here. There's an item. I forget what it was called exactly, but there's an item on the ground here that you can pick up. And it'll end up netting you some more silver to the same person we got the quest to come here from. And I will show you the way back out, and then I will mention more about that once we get back to town. Alright, so we just made our way back to town. We're going to head in and head back to Helen. So once you're back in town, just take a left from the front gate and head back up here to Helen. And then you can talk to her and turn in that quest that obviously you were on for the mushroom shield. And additionally, if you grab that item, like I said, next to the giant ugly motherfucker, I believe is the way I described him. If you say, I may have something for you, and I have this unusual item, which I don't. Actually, I don't think I have anything. But if you did grab that item, you can mention it to her that you have it. And I believe she gives you 40, maybe more silver for that additional item. So you obviously get the quest completed, you get the quest rewards, and then you get that additional reward right on top of it. The only reason that So when I ended up getting that item, when I returned to town, I went to a vendor first before coming back to her, and I was actually about to sell that thing. And fortunately for me, when I had talked to her and gotten the quest originally, I actually hit that option where I said, I may have something, I have something unusual. So I thought about it, I was like, wait, this is kind of an unusual item, let's see if she wants it. And sure as heck, she did end up wanting it. So I got pretty lucky, like I said, early on in the video. And that's why I wanted to mention this kind of stuff in the tutorial or some like a video rather than the stuff that everybody else is kind of going over already. So the reason I was saying like before that I wanted you to, that I recommend at least doing this quest first is so that you can get the combat knowledge, you get some sort of comfortability in the game rather than just running over to this area in the beginning. But another thing is that you do not want to waste too much time, wasting days by. You don't want to die because I'm pretty sure dying makes time go by. As you can see in the bottom left of the map, I'm on day 8. And for me, I ended up paying off the blood price with the writ on the 5th day. So if any more time went by and it went to the 6th day, then I probably would have lost my lighthouse. Which really would have sucked. So, now that we have you all trained up and everything like that, now I'm going to show you where to go. And actually, I need to do a couple things first, and I will jump ahead and skip past it, but I will be showing you where to go to get the writ. Alright, so we are now in the center of town by the fish statue here. And the area you want to go to is down here by this torch. Now there is another way that you can get to this place, but if you ask me, this is the quickest and actually probably the most safest as well. So here you want to go into Cierzo's storage, and in here there is a dungeon that ends up leading out to the beach, and the beach is exactly where we want to go. But do know that there's a sign right beforehand, but there is a point where you need to fall down a little ledge, and the sign tells you that like once you fall down, there's no way back up except for the exterior route around the beach and back to the front gate of the town. So once you come into the storage, there are a lot of miscellaneous items laying around, like an oil lantern if you don't have one yet, and some other stuff laying around that you can take advantage of if you need it. I'm going to skip past that for now and go into the cave. There's also a pickaxe right here if you do not have one yet. I ended up making the mistake of not knowing where to find one, and I ended up buying one for 20 silver, which 20 silver isn't the end of the world. It's not all that much, but you can get a free one right here. There will be more of those enemies from the previous dungeon in this area. These ones seem like they're probably going to be dead still for me, because I came in here not all that long ago. Enemies do respawn, I just do not know what the exact timing is for them to respawn. But right down here, as I said, there's this sign that warns you about the fact that once you fall down here, you can't go back up right away. You actually have to go through the wilderness and back to town, which it's not all that dangerous. You don't have to worry too much. You just want to head out this cave, and you should appear right outside on the beach. We are now out on the beach, and it is actually nighttime, which I may be able to show you something additionally to help you out. But anyway, these are the enemies, this one's dead, that you will run into. They have lightning attacks, one of them ranged, one of them close range, and they also have a melee attack. I'm really hoping that one of them has respawned by now so that I can kind of show you the ways to defeat them. If not, unfortunately, I probably won't be able to do that because I'd have to wait for some time to go by. But anyway, you want to just head down the beach along the shore, watching out for those guys or taking them out as you see fit. And right here by this big boulder, he's not, like I said, he's not going to be here now because I've already done this, but there will be a guy sitting down right here. I forget what his name is. Actually, I think it's Michael. Something along those lines. But anyway, he is injured, and as long as you have a bandage, I probably should have mentioned this earlier, but make sure that you have at least one bandage when you come to do this. And if you come up to him, he ended up getting hurt by one of these creatures, and if you give him a bandage, it'll help him recover. It'll do a little black screen and come back, and then he will give you a Writ of Favor for helping him with the bandage. That Writ of Favor, basically you just go back to town and look for, I believe her name is Risa, in the town hall. You'll meet her at the beginning of the game as well, so you'll know who I'm talking about. And you just talk to her about having a Writ of Favor from helping this guy out, and she will then say that she appreciates it, and she will get rid of the debt that you owe. I'm going to also show you, hopefully, as long as it's the right time, there's actually a little dungeon down here along the shore. It's actually along the mountain more, though. There it is right there. There's this dungeon, and what you can find in it, and actually you can find it from other places as well, especially also along the beach, blue sand. It is a very valuable item in the game in terms of selling for currency and also for use in blacksmithing. So if you talk to the blacksmith in town, he can make you armor using the sand, and it also costs a lot of silver as well. But if you ask me, it's probably a good idea to save up the sand so that you can make it. I have not personally been able to make anything yet because I don't have the amount of silver needed to make them. But this dungeon here, only at certain times, is a good place to find blue sand. Now, it's really only this room. Oh, there's one of those guys down there. I can show you how to fight him. But it's really just this room. But if you come here during the day... Wow, okay. That's no good. If you come here during the day, this lower area is entirely flooded, and you cannot go past about this point right here. But at nighttime, which seems to be past 20 hours, so 8 p.m. and later, I don't know when it what the early time is that it closes. But you'll be able to find at least about 3 spots of blue sand in this one area, as well as being able to get some off of these guys too. So this one's kind of coming to me. That's that ranged shock attack, which actually hit me there. I wasn't ready for that. But you do want to try and roll dodge that. I should probably drop my backpack so I can roll better. So let's wait for him to do that again. Roll dodge, get in close. And I'll try to wait to see so that you can... Okay, so that one is the close range shock attack. He'll reach up and slam down. You kind of have a decent amount of time to roll away from it, as you can see. He also has one other attack, that one right there, which I pressed the wrong button. I was trying to block, and that one. So if he swipes from the side like that, you can usually expect a melee attack, which you can just block. If he reaches up like that, that's usually the close range shock attack, and he really only uses the long range one if you aren't very close to him. Hopefully I don't die, honestly. I mean, I'm kind of weak. Away from that. There's the long range attack, because I'm not really close to him. I can't swing right now. Oh, I have no stamina. Oh, this is bad. He might bleed out. Okay, he did bleed out. That was really good, because I was actually doing pretty bad in that fight. I kind of showed you how not to take it, but I at least showed you the attacks that he uses, so that you can hopefully do a better job than I did avoiding them. But I'm going to search in here really quick, due to the fact that I don't think I've gone this deep before. Doesn't look like there's anything other than clean water. Which, don't get me wrong, it's very good. You could drink that stuff. Or you can gather it and refill your water skin if needed. Anyway, I'm going to head back out of here, and I guess I can show you the path back up top rather than the shortcut way, because you obviously have to take the outer way back to town now. Alright, we just exited that cave there, and we are back on the beach, and if I bring up the map here, we are located right around here on the map. So basically, the way to get back is just keep following this along the mountainside here, and eventually you'll find an area that kind of leads up into a road. Once you get up there, you're going to want to head north along the road, and just to the west, once you get far enough to the north, you will see the town gate again. And basically that's it. Once you get back into town, you head to the town hall and talk to Risa and tell her about the Writ of Favor, and you do not have to worry about paying that 150 silver fine for the blood price. I really hope this guide helped you out. I think it might have been more beneficial or easier to show this stuff off by making a new character and actually doing the quests themselves and showing you exactly what I'm doing and talking about, but I kind of just wanted to save time, try to get this up as quickly as possible, which I know isn't the best idea ever, but for me personally, I kind of just want to get back to enjoying the game. And actually, it's 5 a.m. for me right now, too, as well. And my throat is now killing me from talking so much. But anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this, or got help from this video anyway. As I said, there are a lot of other starting guides videos out there, but none of them really that I saw were detailing the way to get the Writ of Favor, and also that little side quest, which is not really something that stands out. One point I guess I can make is the fact that in my experience, I have not been able to talk to somebody that wasn't important. So any of the random NPCs kind of walking around the village you can't really talk to, so if you can talk to somebody, you should. Whether it's a vendor or a trainer or like what happened here, the quest giver that just does not have a mark. So it's not really a game that kind of hands things out to you. You kind of have to actually go around and explore and talk to people, and ended up finding out on your own rather than it just kind of giving a big waypoint saying, hey, there's a quest here. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy this game as much as I do, and hopefully, like I said, this video helps you guys out. And I will see you hopefully in the next one.